Hi everybody, welcome back or welcome to the channel. It's your boy Reactee. Today we're doing 8 scary videos you should not watch at night. Sorry, I think I've started getting a cold and things aren't working in my brain right now. But let's get into this scary video for Fright Night Friday.
Welcome to Fearsome Top 5. These are 8 scary ghost videos that people swear are 100% real. Number 1. The 3 a.m. Fam is a paranormal team from West Virginia that set out to investigate the haunted Ross house. Built in the mid-1800s, the house was owned by the Ross family. According to local lore, multiple members of the family died in the home, and visitors of the house have reported seeing a ghostly woman roaming around. She's often seen crying, walking the halls upstairs, and holding a newborn baby. Several psychic mediums who have entered the house have seen her, and people often hear the sound of a baby crying. While investigating the home, one member of the team began noticing movement out of the corner of her eye. Feeling uneasy, she pulled out her phone and started recording the area where she kept seeing it, and what she caught on camera sent...
Not to nitpick or anything, but if you're a paranormal investigation team, why do you have to record stuff on your cell phone? Can't you have cameras around, actual professional video cameras around you to record stuff? Why do you need your cell phone to do it if you're supposedly a professional paranormal investigation team? That's a little weird, in my opinion. But, I mean, if you're just amateurs and cell phones are all you have, then it makes sense.
Chills down her spine. At the top of the staircase, a faint black shadow slowly came into view. This thin shadow-like figure crept forward, inching closer to the stairs. Watching the footage back, two things stand out immediately. First, it clearly wasn't anyone on the team. And second, it doesn't resemble a normal shadow cast by someone passing by. Instead of appearing flat against a wall, this dark mass almost looks suspended in midair. The investigator behind the camera...
Yeah, that shadow definitely looked like it was floating rather than walking. It could have been a shadow from outside, but I'm guessing with the way the lighting was that there was no window there or something. Not quite sure what that was, but that was a little weird.
Camera believes it could be the spirit of the woman said to haunt the home. But what do you think? Number 2. TikTok user Temporary Fields is known for posting nothing but the music he creates. So his followers were caught off guard when he suddenly uploaded footage from his home security camera. Late one night, motion outside his house triggered the camera to start recording, and what it captured was the last thing he expected. Just beside his porch, something unsettling appeared on camera. A bizarre creature-like figure crawled into frame and quickly crept past the side of the house. With unnaturally long arms and legs, it was clearly no ordinary animal. The man who runs the account has his own theory about what it could be. A skinwalker. And if that's true, then he should probably take the advice from one of his viewers who told him to go ahead and list that house for sale.
Now, not to go against what these guys think, it was probably some sort of canine with mange. At least that's what it looked like to me. But the poor animal should probably be picked up by animal control and treated or put down if it's too far gone. Mange often kills, I think it kills animals. I can't remember. I'd have to look that up again. But I think mange does damage to internal organs and they eventually die. So it might be better if that thing was an animal with mange for it just to be put down. It looked like a coyote or something. Ugh, not good for that poor animal.
Number 3. On New Year's Eve, most people expect the loud pops of fireworks echoing through the night. But for a woman named Carmen, the only thing going off was a motion alert from her backyard security camera. Curious but unconcerned, she opened the footage to take a quick look. But what she saw next made her stomach drop. Into the night, her camera captured a ghoulish figure roaming through her yard. Moving along the fence, this pale figure slowly crept past, going in and out of view as it moved. The fenced-in area is all her property, and no one should have been on it.
That one's a little strange. A car went by, and it didn't seem to phase whatever this was. And at first, I thought it was on the other side of the fence. But you can clearly see it walking in front of the fence because it blurs out some of the boards. Yeah, that's a really weird one. I don't like that one.
So the chilling side of this figure was unexpected and left her feeling uneasy. Number 4. A man named Robert White from the Paranormal Unearthed YouTube channel is a paranormal investigator. He set out to conduct an investigation at a place known as Cottage 621, a haunted Airbnb in Horseheads, New York. Strange activity has been reported in the house, with other paranormal teams documenting chilling shadows moving around the property. Determined to capture evidence for himself, Robert set up a static camera in the hallway and let it roll, but he had no idea what would eventually appear in the footage.
It looked like the door opened and closed, went over to the side there. I'm not sure where his team is, but that's a little odd if it did it on its own and no one was down the hall.
At around 12:30 a.m., his camera captured something truly unsettling. As it pointed down the hallway, a dark shape slowly formed, a shadow unmistakably resembling a...
I did not see that. I just saw the light coming from that hallway. But yeah, that is a shadow in the form of a person, head, body. Looks like an arm up here. That's a weird shadow.
Small child. Unlike a normal shadow, this one wasn't flat against a wall, but seemed to be standing on its own in the hallway. Robert couldn't believe what his camera caught, and honestly, neither can I. So could this be actual proof of a ghostly child?
And it's strange because I think that's a REM pot there, goes off. The lights on it blink occasionally. At the same time, the shadow's there. So that's a little strange.
Or is it all just a hoax? Number 5. As a child, a man named Willow often experienced strange things. Things that he could only describe as paranormal. As he grew up, this activity seemed to fade away, eventually stopping altogether. But that all changed when he moved into a new apartment. One night, he had a nightmare that Pennywise was downstairs. And ever since, his cat has been acting strange about going downstairs.
Right, I just filmed my last video and she just came downstairs making a weird noise. Like, you okay? I'm a bit worried about her at this point. She's booked in for the vets tomorrow, so hopefully she's alright, but my last cat, you alright? No. Oh, I'm really worried about her. Come here. Yeah, my last cat, who died, he made this really loud, weird meow, and then he just went limp and died. just out of nowhere. He was fit and healthy. That was Corey's son, Moses. He was called. He was a lovely cat. He's in one of my older videos, playing with the Jar Jar Binks Teddy. Yeah, that happened. So hopefully she'll be all right. That was really weird. I didn't catch it on camera. She just came downstairs. I didn't even know she was here. I was just peeling the reduced stickers off of these Mr. Kiplings so I could give them to a friend, and he'd think that I'd paid for them full price. And basically, yeah, I was just doing that, and she just like did this really weird meow, and it wasn't as scary as when Moses did that, because when he did that meow, I knew something was wrong. I went running to him, and he was just, well, he died within like 5 minutes. It was horrible, but yeah, I hope nothing like that happens to her. You alright, Corey? You want to come back down? Well, she came downstairs, so that's progress. But it was weird. It's like she was trying to tell me something.
His cat Kari was clearly on edge, skittish and afraid of something downstairs. But even more unsettling were the disembodied voices captured in the recording. Just before the video ends, a chilling whisper can be heard saying, "Get out."
But it was weird. It's like she was trying to tell me something. But
I heard the whisper, and I was like, oh, that's something, right? I didn't hear it say "get out" the first time, but the second time, I haven't went with the words there. It clearly said that, so I don't know if that's actually what it said, or if that's just what my mind decided it was going to say now.
Weird. It's like she was trying to tell me something. But it was weird. It's like she was trying to tell me something.
It couldn't have been Willow, as he was speaking at the exact same moment the voice appeared. Along with his cat's strange behavior, he's heard loud banging, watched doors open and close on their own, and even felt something crawl into his bed at night. Hoping to finally catch proof of whatever was happening, he set up a camera downstairs, and eventually it captured this. At 4 in the morning, the downstairs door swung open and closed entirely on its own, moving back and forth as if someone we can't see was moving it. After reviewing the footage, Willow was determined to record the door opening for himself, and as it turned out, that wouldn't be hard at all.
Right. Just want to show it happening again. So, if there's anything in this room, can you... I didn't even have to...
The opening and closing could have been a draft somewhere. That could have been air pressure changes. It could have been a lot of things. The door opened without the handle turning. What that tells me is it's not setting in the latch properly. So it's going to open and close with every draft anyway. So that doesn't seem like anything paranormal. It seems like a housing issue. Your door is not set properly in the frame, and so it's not latching properly. That's what I think anyway. Let me know what you guys think below in the comments.
I have to finish. I don't really need to prove that there's nothing down there. You'd hear the door go anyway. Let's try again. Right. If there's anything in this room with me, well, yeah. If there's anything or anyone in this room right now, open the door again.
Even when he closed it, it didn't sound like it clicked into place properly. I didn't hear anything, actually. I, where the handle and the door frame interact, I don't think that's latching in properly. So the door's just opening with with air displacement, as far as I can tell. I don't see anything paranormal here at all.
The unsettling activity persisted, always centered around that same door. And the camera he installed continued to record even more chilling evidence that something unexplainable was happening inside the apartment.
The cat being that freaked out by the door might be something, since cats and dogs are very sensitive to stuff like that, to paranormal stuff. It's a little strange that like if he can lock the door, he should be locking that door, and then see if it does that. Again, that door handle didn't budge. The door just started swinging open, which again tells me that the door's not closing properly.
Nearing 3 a.m., Kari was spooked by something downstairs. Moments later, the door unlatched and slowly swung open, revealing no one on the other side. Whatever's going on, Willow's having a pretty hard time explaining it, but he's fairly certain that the dark presence from his childhood has returned. Number 6. After a long day at work, a man named Nolan came home and passed out on the couch. He was sleeping peacefully when the faint sound of movement suddenly woke him up. The unsettling part, he was the only one in the house. Fortunately, his security camera captured everything that happened next. As he laid there, the door behind him slowly began to creak open. He quickly sat up, eyes locked on the door, waiting for someone to appear. But no one ever did. A few minutes later, he drifted back to sleep. Then, without warning, the loud slam of the door jolted him awake. Frightened and confused, he jumped up from the couch and stared at the door, his heart pounding as he searched for a logical explanation. But honestly, it almost feels like a ghost was just messing with him. Number 7.
That could also be something to do with the air. Not quite sure. It's hard to tell from that video. Something could have fallen out. Broom or something could have pushed the door open. It slamming closed like that, that's a little harder to explain. It would take quite a gust of wind for it to slam like that. But either way, that poor guy was in for a fright.
One evening, a man named Waldo and his wife left their house, unaware that anything was out of the ordinary. When they returned later that night, everything appeared perfectly normal. But the following morning, his wife stepped outside and noticed something deeply unsettling waiting right in front of their home.
That is a small bare foot. You can see the toes. Well, they might be wearing socks, but you can still see the toes, which is weird. But they walk in on the same path they walk out, so it doesn't look like they went anywhere. That's a strange. Those are strange footprints. Actually, I take that back. It looks like this one's going out, this one's coming in, but it looks like a normal walking pattern, but one foot's backwards. That's weird. And either this driveway is super long or this lady's walking into the woods following weird footprints. Personally, I wouldn't do that, but that's just me.
And this is where they end.
Stamped across the front steps were footprints, and not just any footprints. These were bare, meaning whoever had walked through the snow hadn't been wearing shoes. But it gets even worse. One print faced forward, while the other pointed backward, as if something unnatural was outside of their home. Confused and uneasy, she followed the tracks into the yard, and as she did, the pattern changed. What started out as two human footprints slowly became one human print and one that looked disturbingly animalistic. Then, without warning, the track simply stopped, cutting off as if whoever or whatever made them had vanished into thin air. People in the comments theorized that they were caused by a skinwalker. But whether that's true or not, one question remains far more disturbing. Why did those tracks lead straight to her doorstep? Number 8.
That is a good question and a good comment, because if it turned, it kind of looked more like a deer or a bear print at some point. So if it turned from human to animal and it's still facing the wrong way, then there's something not right about it. That's for sure.
A building known as Anglefield Hall was constructed in 1880, with its original purpose being a coffee shop tavern. By 1910, it transformed into a temperance hotel. Then by the 1940s, it temporarily became a makeshift school. Over the years, visitors and workers have claimed they've seen shadow figures, heard voices, and even seen the apparition of a small child. Paranormal investigators Jeff, Phil, and Mark from the Ghost Tech Paranormal YouTube channel set their sights on this location. And before the investigation even had a chance to start, things took an eerie turn.
We lock down the building, and Phil and I start to set up the equipment for the investigation. Whilst Phil is upstairs, I am down in the main hall when I hear loud noises come from nearby.
Phil? Was that you? Phil?
Strange sounds of movement came from somewhere in the main hall, giving Jeff his first hint of what was to come later that night. With several static cameras scattered throughout the building, along with multiple devices that are motion activated, Jeff and Phil were ready to begin the investigation.
So you see this red light on this device in my hand? This is a recorder. And if you speak into the red light, it will pick up your voice. And then we can play it back and listen to what you have to say. So can you speak into this red light, please? Can you make another noise for us, please? An EVP of a child's voice is received saying, "Mummy." Here is the audio enhanced.
With the eerie, chilling whisper of a ghostly child's voice crackling through the digital recorder, it was now painfully clear that the guys were not alone in the darkness. As they exited the main hall, they were met once again with unsettling ghostly sounds coming from the shadows.
We leave the main hall area and go down a narrow hallway. And as I reach the end, I hear a man's voice, but it is not captured on my digital audio. Hold on, Phil. Someone was speaking. As I got just down there, I could hear someone speaking. I would say it was a man's voice. As I got here,
Not that I don't believe him, but I'm not sure how old this gentleman is, and if it doesn't pick up on any recording device, odds are it was just something you thought happened. So it could possibly be that. Because most of the time, like that mummy thing, you heard it on the device only. There are a few, but very seldom people hear stuff that doesn't get picked up on recording devices. But since there's no real proof that it actually happened, then those are easier to dismiss as something your mind thought up in the moment. Fear getting the best of you, things of that nature.
it was like a man whispering. I don't know if it was for me or if it. That was from my upstairs. And that was loud.
That was clearly footsteps, basically, and yeah, it sounded like it was further away, but it was very pronounced. So if it was upstairs, then yeah, I could see that.
It was like a man whispering. I don't know if it was for me or if it was if it or if it was if it or if it was if it.
Now on high alert, the guys cautiously made their way to another part of the building. And as they did, something was caught on the static camera upstairs.
Whilst Phil and I are on the ground floor, the door to room 3 opens and closes by itself. Inside room 3, our static cam is pointing in the direction of the small cupboard where a young child is believed to hide, and the door is out of frame. But we can rule out any natural causes for what has taken place. The building's windows are all closed and are completely double glazed. The curtains in this room are pulled across so there is no wind or air moving within the room. Also, if it was an air draft, these bells on the string in the middle of the room would move or start to swing. But as you can see, they are completely still.
Something or someone clearly opened and closed the door upstairs. So Jeff and Phil made their way to that room to conduct an EVP session. And while asking questions, something downright hair-raising was caught.
Got this device here. That's got a K2 meter. It's got audio on it, so we will hear it. Alarm. If you touch it, go anywhere near it. And also, we have a very sensitive digital recorder that will pick up your voice.
Whoa,
If you're speaking to that red light,
that was a voice.
just going to put that down there. And also, we have a very sensitive digital recorder that will pick up your voice.
Whoa.
Initially, I did not hear that. If you guys did, you have better ears than I do. But yeah, that's weird. But yeah, I didn't hear that at first, so I didn't realize what he'd heard. Wow, that was kind of cool.
Whoa.
The voice hidden within the static on the digital recorder was undoubtedly an intelligent response. And with all this paranormal evidence beginning to stack up, it was only a matter of time before the entity itself was caught. And with a static camera rolling in the main hall, that's exactly what happened.
Whilst Phil and I were on the upper floors taking full spectrum photographs to try and gather more evidence, our static cam in the main hall captures a shadow figure moving down the far corridor. Here is the footage, followed by the film with enhancements and in slow motion.
Okay, that enhanced one was the best one so far. But yeah, it seems to walk through this doorway over to the side, which is quite cool.
A faint shadow figure suddenly appeared and walked across the open door. This dim silhouette manifested out of nowhere before quickly moving out of view. Its outline against the light wall is hard to dispute, as a head, torso, and legs can clearly be seen. This incredible piece of footage is more than enough evidence for me to know that I will never be stepping foot in Englefield Hall. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to hear more from your boy. As always, if you enjoy these creepy videos, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this.
Well, that was another Fright Night Friday video from Fearsome. Again, Fearsome puts out great content. The link to this video, original video, will be down in the description. Go check it out, give it some views, and if you enjoyed this content, drop a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. It's free, helps out the channel. Do the same over at Fearsome's, and I will catch you next week for another Fright Night Friday. Bye-bye.